So the Real Play Coalition is basically, it's UNICEF, it's Lego, it's IKEA, and it's National Geographic. And when I, in this forum, state we, I talk on behalf of Real Play Coalition, because I know there's a few people from IKEA here, and sometimes left hand doesn't know what the right hand do. So, yeah. I was sitting at home this morning, having breakfast with my son. He's 11 months old. And being here, humbling experience to be invited. I was sitting with my son, all thinking about how nervous I am standing here in front of you, because I want to do a good impression, right? So yeah, I was sitting at the breakfast and seeing him coming up to me with a freaking old sock, laughing. And I was thinking, like, he is not the problem here. Why do I talk about play when he's not the problem? I am the problem. I am spending my time worrying about how will you think about my presentation. So what I'm thinking is, we adults, we are the one that needs to change. Because play has so many benefits for both children and adults that it's absolutely fantastic. All our research, all our combined research from IKEA, from Lego, from National Geographic shows that play is truly rocket fuel for a kid's development and setting them up for a future in skills development and whatnot. Coming back to my son, he's amazing, by the way, 11 months old. He talks, he walks, he carries socks for me, and he has this ability to play with anything and everything. So I'm thinking, like, why am I up here telling you how to play and telling him how to play, where all we need in the society is to add play, add a layer of play on top of everything? Then we as adults, we need to be reminded, I need to be reminded every day that life is a playful experience. So we as a coalition, we really believe in the power of play. That is what our mission is, right? And like I said, benefits for children and adults, it's absolutely fantastic. And our combined research proved that play is rocket fuel for a child's creativity, its language, its social skills, and a whole lot more. Our approach from the Real Play Coalition is that we will use our insights, our reach, and our influence to create a movement that highlights the importance of play among parents, among caregivers, among society, among governments and municipalities. And as a collaboration or a coalition, we need to think that all our brands, we are quite massive organizations, right? I mean, Ingka, who I represent, we're 160,000 something employees or coworkers, same size as Helsingborg city. So we really understand the challenges you guys have. We can take those challenges and put it in a global scale as well. We do tons of effort on the play and children's right. Also, I know Lego are doing tons of play activity in their retail agenda. But this coalition itself is kind of like outside of our product landscape, outside of every retail agenda that we have. This is truly just thinking of children. So what we can do, all our brands, is basically 1 + 1 = 3. What can we do that is better than all our brands moving one by one, and how can we use the collaborative force? I can give this. Are you okay with me?
I'll stand here
reading
and prep.
in the papers?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Okay. Good. So the mission is urgent. This is what I'm coming to. Why focusing on play right now? Basically, time to play is reduced in today's society. We know that to survive, to thrive, and meet the challenges of tomorrow, children need more play today. And it doesn't only involve children, right? It's adults as well. Because the skills they will need and the people they will become and the world they will shape is created by these skills that they learn when playing. If you go to people or countries in the Asia region, usually you find a lot of magazines that focusing on how to excel in school, how to create the best results, but you don't find any magazine focusing on play. So it's really what do we do bringing up with our children, right? And our research show that 1 out of 5 children today say they are too busy to play. And this is research done by IKEA, by Lego. It's available in our Value of Play report, which is free for download on our website, realplaycoalition.com. In 2018, parents in the US reported that they were playing together with their children less than 5 minutes per day. In the UK, time playing outside has declined by 50% in a generation. And I don't want to scare you guys, but it's just the facts, right? And these facts we really want to change. Our work, of course, it contributes to the UN Sustainable Development Goals. This is all good, with focus on number 4, 11, and 17. I do my analog page flip in here.
Beautifully, I might add.
Beautifully, thank you, thank you. So what do we as a coalition add to this play puzzle? Basically, we add 3 pieces to change the perception of play. We add insight through research. So we raise insight and knowledge through investing in meaningful research. We raise awareness through our communication channels, both coalition channels and IKEA, Lego, UNICEF, and also city activations among our target groups and audiences. How to integrate play into children's lives. Also, we add play in community, and this is where it all happens. This is where the magic happens, right? Because research is all good, but it doesn't sound very playful to me. But if you want to create a case, if you want to prove something, you better back it up by numbers. So the 2 first pieces is a bit boring, according to me, and if you ask my son as well. When the 3rd piece, then this is when it becomes fun. This is when we add, as someone said, we add a layer of play on top of everything. Or we could. We cannot do it ourselves. This is where you step in as well. This is where we need your help. How can we add a layer of play in our schoolrooms, in our entire cities, in our intersections, on the already built environment? How can we add play there? The results of playing with us so far, like the Real Play Coalition was launched in Davos 2018. It was a sign-off by all our CEOs. At that time, Unilever was part of the coalition as well. They stepped out this year due to brand strategy approach. But so far, we have produced a Value of Play report, which is an urgent response to the play crisis. In there, you will find all our collective not all of it. Parts of all our collected research, and you will find all the numbers that I've been sharing here, and also the benefits, all the benefits that play gives. For free. Let's go ahead. We also have a joint program, which is the Global Month of Play, where we as a coalition come together, and it's actually now during November. We create much of our focus is during November. And our retail legs, as IKEA, for instance, we have a play campaign. And during November, we launched the Sagoskatt range, which is basically kids' soft toy. It's a kids' drawing competition where they draw their dream soft toy. And we create that from the drawing, a real soft toy, not live, but you can squeeze it. And all the money that comes in goes to charity. And today, this year, I believe it's in Sweden, Generation PEP that receives the money because they promote play and they promote movement. So that's super good. We also were a part of the world first ever child-friendly city summit hosted by UNICEF. This is where Julia actually steps in and talks about this summit. We had the opportunity to present the work of the coalition to over 120 mayors, academics, NGOs, and young people around the world. So super fantastic. We hosted sessions on playful learning and on development child-friendly playful cities. We added playing community during 2018, and this is happening as we speak. In London, in Cape Town, and Mumbai. These are 3 strategic cities that we have a close collaboration with the municipality, how we can add play in their cities. So a massive credit to all of them. And when adding play in community, we take a 3-step approach. First, we create an assessment. So we focus on we have to understand before designing, so we aim our efforts at the local needs, right? In London, for instance, we, together with UNICEF and the borough of Barnet, a borough is like a small part of London, kind of like a commune or a municipality. So in the borough of Barnet, supporting the Child-Friendly Cities initiative, we held a workshop where they found out that the children and caregivers spent most of their time together on public transport. And then you ask yourself, don't they live at home? Yes, but maybe they didn't spend time together at home. So public transport was one major time that they spent together. So we, together with Transport of London and Arriva at the moment, we are conducting a design workshop in 2 weeks' time to figure out how can we make that bus ride a more playful experience. How can we design a bus that lets children and adults play together while learning at the same time? This bus is not designed by us. This is supposed to be designed by children, right? So they are the one drawing, and that will happen in a couple of weeks' time. Good. I saw one person laughing over there, so I was wondering, like, what came up? It couldn't be me. So then in Cape Town, the second thing we add, like in this 3-step approach, we co-create, engaging children and caregivers. So we do not decide on what we take in. In Cape Town, the focus was on security. Basically, we do not want to add another play park, a new play park, when parents did not dare to send their kids away that far because they wanted to keep an eye on them, right? So security was the main issue in Cape Town. So together with Arup, which is like architects of cities, we looked at locations where the parents spent their time naturally. So after school, the parents were to do laundry, do cooking, do whatever. And we would create places there while they were keeping an eye on the children. So in this area, we created a maker space, we created a sensory space and performance space. So in the performance space, we had like pop-up theaters. In the sensory space, we had wind chimes and things that can touch, like greeneries and stuff like that. And then we had a maker space where it's more creativity. So all of these spaces, yeah, it works. I see my text. What happened? You're amazing. I owe you a cup of coffee. Yeah. So on the way to and from school, but also in the close area where they live and where adults spend their time, we added a co-design workshop with the kids. And then in the third place, and the third is the play activations. We add opportunities for play. And in Mumbai, and here I was looking at the other people standing up here, and you had videos, and I was like, oh, I want a video because it gives me time to relax and think a bit. So you don't need to listen to me. But I don't. I was supposed to. In Mumbai, we had a question. What if we add a play while securing 50,000 square feet of pedestrian space? It doesn't work again, Joy. I'm sorry. Building on the Bloomberg Philanthropy Initiative, together with the city of Mumbai, we added play in the largest, most trafficked intersection in Mumbai. So this is a Mumbai municipality approach where they have pinpointed, right now I believe it's like 200 locations where you can add play, increasing security in the built environment. And if any one of you has seen or been in India, you know that the traffic can be quite chaotic, right? If you're a pedestrian, this is what we did. We created like safe zones here. If you're a pedestrian, you had no safe zone. So what if we could add security from the beginning here, where the cars went totally mayhem, basically, adding safe zones for pedestrians. So when walking across the streets, when you're stopping at the red light, you could have an oasis saying like, okay, here I can stop and there won't be any cars. Safety first, so that's NACTO's doing the traffic. And then we, as Real Play Coalition, step in, adding play onto these parks. So we add planters, we add seatings, and we make kids paint these kind of hopscotches and dance steps and stuff like that. So on the way to school, when you're stopping for 30 seconds, waiting for a red light, then you can play. It might not sound much to be here, to be living in Sweden, to have access to forest and whatever, but in Mumbai, walking from or to school, if I am a parent taking my kids, stopping there for 5 minutes, letting them play, that can be the only play they get during the day, right? So adding play in, this is the first intersection. We'll see on Friday, because the press event will happen on Friday, if they are happy with us, so they want to continue. Oh, I didn't tell that story. Do I have a minute? 2 minutes?
Ish.
Ish.
That's a Swedish no.
Ask me about it, and I will tell it over a cup of coffee. It's an amazing story. So what can we as a coalition add to you guys, add to your cities? Because it's all good adding play in built environment, right? But built environment has a key role to play, because we cannot just build new stuff or find new land. And this is As you might remember, I mentioned something about 1 out of 5 children says they are too busy to play, right? This is where this framework steps in. And we are launching this in February in the World Urban Forum in Abu Dhabi in next year. So this is kind of like a preview. That is why it's so small, so you can't really read it as well. But this is where you can add this framework on top of your cities, or your classroom, or your playgrounds, or your intersections, and ask, where are the play gaps? Is it in the environment and infrastructure where my play gap is? Then I need to focus on that first before play enables, right? Is it within the time and freedom to play area that my city gap is? Then I need to work on that. How can I take that approach? So it really gives you the action plan on how to implement play. And with that, I want to send you a question back home, because basically I like to take things to myself. How can I add more play in my life? Looking at my son this morning, I definitely know I need to add a mindset of play, and I definitely need to be less worried about technology working or not working, because I cannot control it anyway, right? And I should also be happy with just carrying a sock some days. An old sock also, not even washed. So how can you add, before this framework is released, how can you add more play in your society? And with that question, I would like to thank you so much for keeping up with me. Thank you.
Dude, you did it.